Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
This is The Long War. I'm Robbie B. And joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher, Stephen Ford, Mike Haspel, and Sean Nathan. What's up, guys?
Yo, dog. Good to be here.
Yo, it's a Wednesday.
I forgot it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Is that Mike Casper or Luke Cage?
Both.
Yeah. Both simultaneously.
It's Luke Haspel.
Mike Cage. Yep. I was like,
Mike Cage. Mike Cage sounds way better.
Mike Cage.
Kind of reminds me of Mike Honcho.
This is apparently a true story. I don't know if it's true, but this is what I heard. That Nicolas Cage, his real name is Nicolas Coppola.
Yeah.
When he was becoming an actor, he didn't want his relationship with Francis Ford Coppola to give him an edge. So he is also a huge Power Man fan. And that is why he's called Nick Cage. It's because of Luke Cage.
I thought you were going to say, true story, I did pose for Playgirl magazine.
I just want you to know this. Well, if I can get through to you right now in this coma, I just hope that got through to you.
Butt cheeks. Yeah, I just hope that got through to you that I did that.
And then the callback to that at the end of Talladega Nights. He's like, "Oh, good old Mike Honcho."
Yeah.
We can't do it. Yeah. We've done it. We continued our 175 episodes in a row of Talladega Night references.
That's right. So true story. We're in the food truck, and Allie has found her place, and she kills it in the window now. And it's tough because when I'm in the food truck, like we're going, like it's an operation. People sit back and watch. It's like, how do 7 people fit in the space? And y'all put out the fastest food that tastes the best, all this shit, right? So if we put a loaded nachos and Mike Honcho sound a whole lot alike. So the entire the whole time,
so basically in your food truck, loaded nachos are referred to as Mike Honchos?
As Mike Honchos.
That's what I knew it.
Mike Honchos, no jalapenos. Mike Honchos, extra beef. You know, it's hilarious.
I just knew it. I was like, oh my God, because that's how it gets. You know, you guys get like tight with each other, and it's just like all inside language. I was like, oh my God, Mike Honchos. We got 3 Mike Honchos.
That's right. The other one is we had a guy in the window, Riley. He amazing. He had the drop of a dime. The dude should be famous one day, but his different accents and everything else he can have is unbelievable, right? And so he would drop in the middle of it and just pick up an English accent, do like how Mike Haspel does, and has got stories for days. He literally makes people think he's done all. I mean, it's unbelievable. So either way, he thought it'd be funny halfway through the day. It's like, yo, I'm gonna start calling cheese sticks cheese dicks. So somebody walk up and say, I'll just take some cheese sticks. Oh, okay, you want cheese sticks? And they're like, yeah, that's all right. TJ coming up.
At that point, you don't know if they're messing with you or they're just like.
Well, you're not sure if they said it. If they're like cheese dicks, cheese dicks, cheese sticks. It's the same thing.
Yeah, you don't want to be the awkward person to say, "Did you just say dicks?" Or like, no, psycho, like cheese sticks.
Yeah,
like get away from this food truck. Get out of here, creeper,
sex offender. Fuck, get out of here.
Speaking of Wednesday, I actually lost track of days yesterday. I was like messaging Kenny while I was streaming, and I forgot that it was Taco Tuesday. So I feel the pain. It feels like a holiday already. I feel like there's a holiday in our future. I don't know.
Yeah. So I went to Ralph's today, Juice. Let me tell you what, I thought I was a genius today. Ooh. I was like, you know what? I'll set my alarm to like 8 a.m. Before I even continue, you obviously know I did not wake up at 8 a.m.
That's a you thought about going.
I set my alarm for 8 a.m. I was like, I'm going to go to the store at 8 a.m. on a day everyone works, and it's going to be easy. Of course, I didn't get to the store till 11 a.m. I was like, still like, I got this.
It'll be fine.
Get there. It was like a clean 2 hours of getting marshmallows, sweet potatoes, jalapeno ranch dressing, green beans, tablecloth, like just like every mundane bullshit. You know what I mean? Every aisle. Wait, get in, get the thing you want. Like I was like, and I'm like, I gotta get back home, get on this tactics class, do this podcast. I got back like 9 minutes before I fucking called you, Sean.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what am I doing? I'm in the elevator because obviously it was elevators and Ralph's here. And me and this guy are leaving at the same time. And I was like, man, I really thought that was going to be easier. He's like, me too, man. I was like, think about all the hobos who are like, oh, I'm just going to leave work an hour early. It'll be fine because everyone else is still at work like hobos. I'm like, you got fucked. You got fucked hard. So what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving tomorrow? Or today, if you're listening to this.
I'm actually working. So.
Oh, Haspel.
Yeah.
Haspel, you've been putting in the hours, bro.
You know what? I phrased that poorly. I should have known. Haspel, what are you thankful for this holiday season?
I'm thankful for my health, honestly, because that's the one thing that's like not effing me right now that I don't have to worry about.
Well,
so I'm just like, let's
tell you what's
keep that
also
on the steady.
What also is not effing you is that haircut. That shit's looking sick.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I was about to say, you stole mine, Juice. I was going to be like, I'm thankful for Mike Haspel's haircut.
I'm actually excited because Thanksgiving is traditionally the holiday with some of the families from other areas, and I don't have to cook. This is the holiday that everybody's like, no, just come and eat. Like, shit, yes, I will. I'll carve your turkey, and I'll sit down and eat, not wash dishes, nothing.
Juice is thankful for not having to make eating a job.
That's right.
Rob, what are you thankful for?
I guess I'm thankful, just to have an opportunity to hang out with my pops and be a part of this great hobby community.
Oh, you're making the drive?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. So go see him and just get on the road. Sometimes it's good to get on the road, just clear your head.
Fun fact about Rob is he's got this weird thing, like he really likes driving places to the point where he knows where he doesn't use GPS, is nothing. He just knows how to get places because like he fantasizes about driving places. Therefore, he studies like atlases and shit.
Oh, it goes much deeper than that. Like as soon as that rumor engine dropped the other day with that little building on top of the table and Wes was writing it up, I was like, oh my God. And he's like, what? I was like, they did it. And he's like, what? I was like, they made a mini of themselves. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, hold on, let me go to Google Maps. And I pulled up Google Maps and I cut and pasted in Warhammer World. I was like, hey, what do you think this looks like? And he's like, no way. How did you know that? And I was like, don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
You know what you do when you're sleeping? Yeah, this is what I do.
Sean Naden, a legendary champion, ATC team captain, and now co-creator of Battle Brother. What are you thankful for?
Just a great day to hang out, relax, not go to work, and see some family, eat some food. Good day.
Simple.
We also
simple.
I don't know if you know this about Sean, but he's a baker. I just found this out recently.
What?
He makes a hellified cookie.
Chocolate cookies.
I respect baking, Juice, because baking is closer to chemistry.
That's right. We don't do that shit.
Like it's like it's not like what we do. We're just like, meh, this will work. Like try that with like fucking baking soda and baking powder and shit. Like that shit does not look the way it's supposed to look suddenly.
Yeah, and there's not two little tricks and corners that we can cut to make it look and taste delicious. It's ruined.
Yep, I break them out a couple times a year because it's unfair to the other cookies, but
Sean, I want you to know if all the stars align and you're able to make it to the wedding, I've already offered up the kitchen. We need some of these unicorn cookies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm stoked on some cookies. Well, I'm thankful for you guys being a part of my life. You're the only 4 friends in my life. Oh, except for all you guys in chat. You're also my friends. I'm thankful for you too. You know what? Life's good. I don't give a fuck. Good to go. I'll say great. I promise, Juice. I'll say grace tomorrow during Thanksgiving, and I'll keep it classy.
Ooh.
I'll say,
and it can't be to little 6-pound baby.
No. I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna say probably something like this. I'm saying, dear Lord,
we know it's Lord.
Bonet hates it when I do that. When like we get together anywhere and everyone's like, you know, that moment when everyone's like, is someone gonna say grace? I don't know. Who fucking cares? I'll be like, and Bonet slaps my hand down.
Oh.
Thank you for this harvest. Stop. You're embarrassing me.
You guys do phrasing here? Because Kenny's.
But literally, happy Thanksgiving to everyone who watches the show. Holidays are approaching. We're going to be off the air next week.
Yeah, next Wednesday.
I remembered, Rob.
Good job.
Oof, almost forgot. There's we're sorry for the delay in content, but there's a very glorious and happy reason is that Juice is getting married. We're all going to be down there at the wedding. Maybe even Sean. I don't know. Sean, you making it?
There's a high degree of likelihood that I will be in attendance.
So you might see this entire group of people, or may hear of us, maybe see a Facebook picture. I don't fucking know. If you're not there, you're not there. It's a very exclusive gathering.
Maybe I'll bring some cookies.
Bring the world famous Naden cookies. But congratulations, Juice, to your special day. Can't wait to get down there and hang out with you guys, man. It's gonna be fucking blast. But it's content blackout. So this Sunday might be the last. I'm gonna say it right now. This Sunday might be the last battle report of the year. We just rolled out with the new live battle reports. This might be the last one for 2018 because we're going to be going into this wedding, then right into Christmas. Juice is going to be on honeymoon. So that might be it for the rest of the year for that. We're going to definitely have some more podcasts. But we're approaching that time of the year where the content train screeches to a halt. And we're back on hitting a hard January 1st. But Rob,
I'm sure
I'll turn it over.
I'm sure we'll have a lot to say about Chapter Approved.
Oh yes.
Fair one. Yeah.
Might be an emergency session. Juice, you on your honeymoon? You need to fucking stop, swim with the goddamn dolphins right now. This got real.
Dude, we might even have to maybe even just do something funny next week, even if it takes 10 minutes, maybe on Wednesday or Thursday lunchtime or something like that. That would be hilarious.
Battle Brothers fake news.
Yeah, if all of us are in the same room, it'd be pretty sick.
I like it. All right, so we got some new releases. Haspel news about the video game. We're going to talk about that here in a second. Mm-hmm. So, since we already know that Titanicus is the best game in the history of ever that nobody's ever going to play because it doesn't have an FAQ, it doesn't have a bunch of rules disputes, it doesn't have a bunch of crazy cheating. Obviously, it's the best game ever.
Can I interject real quick? It's not a penis joke, nothing. You said that we know it's the best game ever, and no one plays it because it doesn't have an FAQ, which directly counters your entire opinion of FAQs. Just saying.
Oh, no.
Just saying. Bye.
Nobody plays it because it's too expensive, is what I meant to say. It is an expensive game, but it's probably one of the best games you'll never play. And there's a couple of easy ways to get into it. If you can find the Grandmaster Edition, buy an extra rule set, split it with a friend. It's about 750 points each. Cost you about $150. But otherwise, it is going to be a little pricey. Little pricey. So there are new releases coming out next week for that. You got the Warlord Titan with the Plasma Annihilator. Also has the Power Claw as well. I assume it's just going to be the two existing sprues for the Warlord Titan and then the extra weapon sprue. What I'm going to do personally is I'm not even going to put that Warlord together. I'm just going to take the sprue. I'm going to magnetize it. Since I already magnetized my Warlord, you can check out the video on how to magnetize your Warlord. It's actually pretty easy. And just put it together. And when the upgrade pack comes out, I want to put the sprue back in the box and trade it to somebody that actually wants to get into it, which pretty much means I'm going to be stuck with it because nobody plays Titanicus with me. But that's my plan, at least. There's also the Cerastus Knight box for $35. So the Warlord Titan is the normal 110. Cerastus Knights, so your Lancers and your Forge Roll Knights are coming out. Those are going to be pretty dope. $35. I think the Lancer strength 8 which is think of it like to hurt a Titan. It's basically like punching an old Rhino's armor. So strength 8 is good, like front armor, so to speak. And then once you know that, the more powerful a weapon you have, the more likelihood of rolling like a
critical or
six
something.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that.
So are they going to do all the Forge World Night Titans?
So the box, you can make them with different loadouts. So there's some Lancers, there's some the other, what are the other three? The other two? I think there's the other two in there.
The Atropo, or excuse me, the that's terrible. Lancer,
Castigator.
Yep, and the one with the flamer.
Oh, Acheron? No. Styrax? No? I don't know.
Acheron. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, something.
We got there. So that box will be coming out. Also, if you're a fan of the Lord of the Rings Metal Earth strategy battle game thingy-mabobber that's coming out, you will be able to get the Armies of the Hobbit source book, so you can play with the newer stuff now in the new game. They're coming out with 3 releases. Gandalf the White with Peregrine Took. That is a double model set for 40. Legolas.
What is that word he said?
Yeah, so that word Peregrine Took is Pippin of Merry, Pippin, Sam, Frodo, part of the Fellowship. And I think
my wife's favorite Hobbit.
What's that?
My wife's favorite Hobbit.
Yeah. Billy Boyd played him in the film, I believe. But yeah, what's funny is you said that was stuff from The Hobbit, Rob. But those characters like Gandalf the White and everything is from Lord of the Rings.
Oh no! What I meant to say, I don't know how it came out, was that the Armies of the Hobbit source book is coming out.
Oh, so okay. I got to
play the Hobbit stuff in the new game.
And then they've got and then these are new figs that are coming out.
Right, new sculpts. So you got Legolas and Toriel, Theoden, and Gandalf. Dice. So some new releases there, and it looks like they're rebundling some of the basic warriors too, like Mirkwood Rangers, some Orcs, Palace Guards, Warriors, Dale, some other stuff into bigger boxes for $50. I'm assuming they're bigger boxes because they have extra sprues. I'm hoping. So we'll see. There is also the Knight Command Terminal Pack coming out for Titanicus, so you can actually use your Knights, the new Knight box that's coming out, because they only come with, I think, 2 or 3 of the command terminals in the rule set. So if you buy this new box, you actually won't be able to play with it because you wouldn't have command terminals if you use your other Knights too. And a couple of transfer sheets for $18. So the terminal packs are $25, just like the other ones. There's something called Adeptus Titanicus accessories coming out too, which probably by the time you hear this, everybody will know what it is. But I'm assuming it's the sprue with the battlefield asset, like the bunkers and stuff, and also the arcs, and I think the little pegs to go in the terminals as well. In case you're buying extra terminals, then you're going to need extra pegs eventually, I would assume. So there's all that coming out. And then on the hobby side of things, you've got the medium project box coming out for $50. The Citadel Paint Rack, which is those little hexagonal racks that it looks like you put the Citadel paint pots into. I'm not sure how many you get because it's priced at $18. So I'm hoping you get more than one, because it looks like one held like 9 paints. So I'm hoping you get more, but who knows? It's hard to say at this point. And the large project box for $80, which is up from, I want to say this thing was $50 or $60 last year, or maybe even $45. So they bundled in some hobby supplies with it. So obviously we'll know if it's a deal or not as soon as we see what the exact configuration is. But overall, not a bad bunch of releases. And of course, Blackstone Fortress will be out on Blackstone Friday as well. So you can probably pick up your copy at your local retailer. It looks to be very fun, but it's one of those things you're going to need you and a bunch of friends, multiple sessions, a little bit of hobbying to get the figures together, maybe play with some coins or something at first, or some proxies just to get the feel of it and get underway, because I feel like you'll spend just as much time putting the models together as you will actually starting and playing a first session of the game.
It's kind of an RPG light board game type kind of thing.
Yeah, it seems like they combined a lot of the elements. It stayed true to a lot of Silver Tower, the Warhammer Quest Silver Tower and Hammer Hall elements, but it also feels like they put more 40K stuff in and are kind of making it more about, kind of like Kenny was talking about earlier, like Age of Sigmar, you can have multiple spillover of wounds because you don't have a whole lot of shooting, but in 40K, you have a whole lot of shooting. So they have rules in there, which, if stuff dies, it has a chance to come back before you actually enter the combat phase and stuff. So it's really interesting once you read through it. It seems very well thought out. And I could see where they're going to support it in the future and maybe come out with some like Kill Team Commander box, maybe that also comes with the stuff to play it in the game itself, like Blackstone Fortress. So it's kind of like a dual purpose, like $35 box or something. Those are just my thoughts on it. I could definitely see it happening, but it seems neat. It seems like a neat concept, but again, it's not going to be for it's almost like Titanicus. It's going to be one of those things that's going to be a hard sell for folks, but at least you can use the models in 40K. Yeah.
And also keep in mind, guys, that in addition to Black Friday is Small Business Saturday. And that I know that may not be a whole national thing, but I know it is a deal around here. So if you do have Small Business Saturday, think about that before you drop all your coin on Friday.
Yeah, that's a great point, Haspel. I'm glad you brought that up. Definitely supporting local is massive. Matter of fact, Kenny and I did some talking the other day, specifically about, it's so easy for everybody to get into the Amazon trap or the, Walmart because things are cheaper. But, without that, we soon will have a monopoly on a lot of different things, not just internet or TV, if all the small businesses go under.
Yeah, it's something you want to be aware of, but Amazon does present an opportunity for some smaller companies to actually have distro and such. Like, for instance, Feldherr, is a German company that has great foam storage boxes and things, great laser cut foam, but they're a German company. So for them to come to the States and actually, distribute and retail in the States would be a Herculean effort. Whereas if they just ship the stuff to Amazon, boom, free distro, the hobby grows. Well, it's not free, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, it's quoting the exception is the norm, though. Like for the
sure,
vastly. I mean, like, but that's the foundation of our economic system, right? Convenience beats everything. So, remember when like Walmart was doing their thug thistle and people were like picketing, like we can't get this Walmart can't come to our town. It's going to ruin our town. And we're like, that's it. Walmart's the worst. It can't get worse than this. It can. Someone can absolutely provide you more convenience. And therefore, you only go for them. And then therefore, they create situations where you have to, you're either with them or you're against them. I'm not saying that they're bad people or anything. I'm just saying, like, if you want brick and mortars to exist, not just game stores, not just hobby stores, you want brick and mortars to exist, you got to go out on small business Saturday and actually shop there. You actually have to leave your house and go somewhere.
Yeah.
It's the only way that they exist. Like, not that, I mean, that's not a knock on like online sales. That's a knock on like, I do it all the time. In my spreadsheet for my business, for my monthly budget, there is an Amazon budget. And I'm like, you cannot spend more than this amount of money on Amazon. And that's 50-50. Trying to save money, 50-50. You can go and get shit IRL too, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yep.
No, I agree. I mean, it's tough, and they're making it very hard on local game stores, especially with a lot of things that Wizards and stuff's doing. So obviously, if you have a local game store and they're doing right by you, make sure you support them, because that game stores are a very important thing in this hobby, and it's something that are quickly drying up. And the failure rate on game stores is very high. So make sure you support your local businesses there. You guys want to run down some Black Friday sales? I just started getting emails from folks that their Black Friday sales are actually live right now. It looks like Battle Foam's live, the War Store is live. So lots of sales already live out there. I'll run down the list. We had a comprehensive list on spikybits.com this morning. There'll be another one on Black Friday too with the updates as I'm getting them in. from the different companies. But obviously, Games Workshop will have their releases that we already talked about. Protos Games will be having a 35% off sale with a free special miniature with every order. Warlord Games, if you're into that type of thing right there, the historicals in the bigger scale, which I think is more playable scale than the Flames of War. Personally, they have a bunch of stuff on sale up to 50% off. Pop Goes the Monkey will be announcing a sale on Cyber Monday. That's the 3D printed bits we like to talk about a lot on here. So look for that. We don't know exactly what it might be, but it promises not to suck. Cromlech will have all of their products on sale up to 20% for just Cromlech and Tabletop Scenics. I think that ends Sunday. At some point Sunday, everything's going by CET. So don't miss that one if it's midday Sunday. If it's past 4 p.m. Sunday, the sale's probably over if you're in the Eastern time. Creature Caster and Monument Hobbies have a bunch of stuff going on, it looks like. So the new Pro Acryl, how do you say that? How do you say that word, Kenny? Acryl?
It's acrylic, but it's shortened, so I just say Pro Acrylic. I refuse to say Pro Acryl.
I like that. Pro Acrylic will go on pre-order in the US and Canada. Also, Creature Caster will have their own build your own bundle deal for a percentage off, more percentage depending on how many models you get. That's pretty cool. There'll be an exclusive bust on sale, their very first bust that day that looks like it'll ship on December 10th. And the Lord of Sorrows will be unveiled, pre-order on December 10th as well. Sounds good.
Yeah, we actually started working on that new bust live on my show the other day. Krampus.
Nice.
It's looking sick.
Well, there you go.
That's a sick Black Friday sale to be like, in addition to like all the cool discounts you're used to, we got a new model that's just for you on Black Friday, and then it's gone. Pretty sick.
And Slow Fuse Gaming is having a 30% off sale for everything in stock and some branded brushes and such until it's all gone. What else we got here? Wargame exclusive. They got those dope resin minis out of Eastern Europe. 20% off. Table Wars having a 30% off sale. Battle Foam's having their normal ridiculousness. That is live right now. White Metal Games, if you're looking to book a commission, they have a discount code in here for $25 off an order of $250 or more. Raging Heroes will have a bunch of sales up to, they didn't have anything specific. Army Painter's doing a bunch of bundles. Manta Games has a bunch of discounts and bundles too. Elric Hobbies will be running a Black Friday sale, 10% off everything with a coupon code. Remember, they got all sorts of dope resin miniature bases as well as retail Scout 75 paints, all sorts of goodies over there. Crystal Fortress, those are those dope clear cases behind Kenny, if you've been wondering what those are. They will be having a sale as well for additional layout layers. I think that's the things that hold them in the cases. Am I right, Kenny?
Correct.
For 75% off on 2 or more.
Huge discount.
For this custom.
That's a huge discount.
Is it? What do they normally go for?
I mean, 75% off, bro. That's
obviously.
Magnificent discount.
It seems like something that you might be like, I'll just get the case and not get this. But now it's like, oh, I'm definitely getting some of these. Fear This Customs has really cool game aids. And you know how we like our game aids. Make sure you check them out. Everything will be up to 30 or deals up to 33% off. Magnet Baron is running deals every day, I think, for 15 to 50% off magnets, dice bags. They got new resin movement trays, magnetic movement trays, and bases too. RTLW is having a 15% off miniatures, 10% off for the 28 stuff. Then we've got retailers. It looks like Frontline Gaming is doing some sales on their mats. Miniature Market has waves of deals. So some are starting tomorrow and some are starting the following. Dice Head Games will be having a drawing for a free mega paint set as well as super big discounts. You got to call or email to find out the exactness of them. And the War Store will be having their normal extra 5% off coupon with a bunch of free goodies and extra things and extra shipping, it looks like, on G-Dub stuff.
Also, that's got to get added to Beats Lab Gaming. Make sure you hit us up on Facebook or check out the website. And for all the exclusive Black Friday deals that will roll into Cyber Monday.
There you go. I think that's it.
Oh wait, you forgot to talk about. You forgot to talk about Next Level Painting, Beast Mode Friday, Black Beast Mode Friday.
Sounds like something else.
I haven't come up with the discount yet, but it's the day after tomorrow, right? So we do Mark of the Beast Mode Fridays for 28 months in a row. All donations $6.66 give you bonus Yo Dogs. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I know it's gonna be bigger than that for Black Beast Mode Friday.
I'm not sure I feel comfortable with you saying that.
That's on you. I mean, it's also on me. I'm not sure I feel comfortable saying it either. Combining Black Friday with Beast Mode Friday, there's almost no way you can combine those and make it sound good.
No.
So we're just going to say Black Friday and Beast Mode Friday are combining forces to create a new sick promotion.
There you go.
There you go. I like that better.
Avoids the landmines.
And of course, Haspel video games.
Yeah. So last week, a game came out called Warhammer 40K Mechanicus. And folks were skeptical. This came out of a small studio. A lot of, GW licensed a lot of their games to really tiny studios, and some of them, frankly, have not been able to pull it off, or it comes off playing like a mobile game, and it's not really what we're looking for. But Mechanicus, I think they hit the chord just perfectly on this one. It is a sort of XCOM like tactical turn-based strategy game, but it's also a dungeon crawler. So, and you have almost like a choose your own adventure type aspect to it. So the game should have a lot of replayability. And it is a heck of a lot of fun. I got sucked into it. I don't have a whole lot of time to game, so I only play like a half an hour, and usually it's for Overwatch. And I started playing this thing, and I was just like, hey, this is really cool. And like XCOM, you can save the mission anywhere. So I could just set, hey, I'm only going to play for a half an hour and stop. But it's pretty well balanced. It's gotten, like I say, it has a very XCOM-like feel to it, but it also has an action point kind of mechanic like Space Hulk does, where you can use these additional points called cognition, which you get from exploring more of this Necron tomb. And that is the main plot, is this Mechanicum outfit, essentially, has discovered a Necron tomb world, and the Necrons are waking up, and there's actually a timer in the upper left hand of how long you spend playing the game. More and more Necrons wake up. So the game gets harder and harder and harder as the longer you take. So you want to kind of go fast through the missions, but at the same time, you want to balance it by exploring as much as you can, because there's really good stuff to explore. And they did a very good job capturing the feel of the Adeptus Mechanicus. So it's really, really cool. I highly recommend it. It's probably on sale right now on Steam because of the Thanksgiving. They always do some kind of sale. So go check it out, and it is a lot of fun. And that's all I have to say about that.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. The big deal, Black Friday. This only comes once a year. Hobby discounts are rolling. We're going to take a quick commercial break, come back, talk about what's new in that FAQ. Finally, the Long War swag is here. LongWarSwag.com, the official home of Long War merchandise. We've got a range of merchandise exclusive to the Long War brand, Next Level Painting, and Spikey Bits. Definitely log in today while supplies lasts. veterans, I've got news for you. Get your best deals online at dicehead.com. Long War Vets, call or email for your best vet deals. That's dicehead.com. elricshobbies.com is your exclusive portal to upgrading your hobby. When you sign up at thelongwar.net, you gain an instant promotional discount good for 10% off at Elric's Hobbies. elricshobbies.com.
Dear veterans, quickly, make your way to thelongwar.net and find out how to reap your hard-earned spoils of this long war. For our allies at secretweaponsminiatures.com have rewarded us all with an extra 10% discount on all Secret Weapon Miniatures merchandise. So stock up, dear veterans, and enjoy.
And we're back. Rob, FAQ. I'm Rob Burgundy.
FAQ question mark. So I assume we just want to gloss over the Space Marine stuff, right?
Yeah, let's jump into the orcs real quick.
Yeah, demo works. So orcs got their long-awaited FAQ. There was a couple of points that I feel like we talked about on the show already that really we were kind of waiting to see the precedent they would set. And then there was one that kind of confused some people, unless you were Sean Nade, obviously. So let's just break it. You want me to just hit the key ones? We'll just go in order. Yeah. Seems like a good idea.
You're grown-ups.
So the get stuck in lad stratagem, change the first sentence of the rules. Text to read, use the stratagem at the end of the fight phase. Why is that important?
Because you no longer get to fight twice before everybody else interacts with you?
Yes.
Is that cheating?
Well, it's so obviously going and then going again is really important, especially when you don't have quality dudes who can survive, who can withstand. Because, like, as Juice has said before, like, 10 guardsmen can kill a shitload of orcs. So, like, anybody can. So it's a big difference when 30 orcs charge something beefy. And let's use the snake bite ones, right? Like, snake bite guys jump in, pay their CPs, +1 to wound. Then and the math is like you're gonna fight twice and kill it. It's totally different though when that knight stomps down and crushes 11 orcs out. Then you get to fight again. Your math is garbage now.
Yeah, the difference is I basically get to charge you and swing with 60 dudes at all my buffs instead of I get to charge and pay my CP to swing with a total of 43 dudes. I mean, it's a major difference. And Sean, it
overall brings it in line with everybody else's codexes, so I think it's a good thing.
Well, so I mean, I can go with it on both sides, right? Like I can see where it's a little more uniform, but I did like a little variance, right? Like we've got the Knight one that says the Knight Terran gets to immediately swing, so that's a little different. So I don't know. Like I thought it was kind of cool. You had the option. Glad that it's not a thing because how many units, Sean, when we broke down the codex was like, that's really good, especially because it's just double the attacks. Thraka is a whole lot better if you just say the dude swings 20 dice. Now you kind of have to survive. So
it's a big kick in the nuts for at least the math that we were laying down for the orcs. Like I liked it because Knights had it, and that was an exception. I liked it because orcs are thematically more close combat oriented. So I was like, that's deliberate. It wasn't deliberate. GW just not for the first time, even within this codex, put their words in the wrong order and the wrong phrases to mean something they didn't intend. So they never meant for you to fight twice immediately, which makes me sad because I thought it was cool narrative. But I agree with you, Sean. It's like, we should have access to similar abilities. So then that means the problem with our codex is like we're besides Ludas, apparently, where are our guns at?
You're orcs. You're not supposed to have guns.
And why do we? And why are we paying for them?
Depends on who you're talking to.
I mean, you can take Shooter Boys, right?
Oh, Shooter Boys. Shooter Boys is still one of the best shooting units in the codex. For what that's worth.
For 20 years.
20 years. So that's big news, but there's other news. There's a lot of interpretations floating around the internet, Rob, right?
So we might as well go on. It's actually next. So stratagem, Grot Shield. Change this rules text to read: use a stratagem after clan infantry unit from your army, excluding units comprised entirely of Gretchen models, has been hit by a ranged weapon. Until the end of the phase, you can roll a d6 each time an attack made with a ranged weapon wounds that unit. If there is a friendly unit comprised of entirely of Ork Gretchen infantry models within 6, and that Gretchen unit is closer to the attacking model than the target unit. On a 2+, this is the key line. On a 2+, one model of your choice, and that Gretchen unit is slain, and the attack sequence ends. WTF does that mean?
Yeah, you got to think about the fact that the game is designed to roll one dice at a time. So there was a little bit of discussion online when this rule dropped that if I had 20 shots on my Castellan and I shot at your orcs, the first time I wounded you, you would roll a 2+, and then all my shooting actions would stop. So you would kill one grot, and I would lose a whole 600 points worth of shooting. But you have to stop and think that each shooting attack, it has its own sequence. It rolls to hit, it rolls to wound, then there's an armor save, then there's damage. But this rule basically takes that, and you roll to hit, you roll to wound, you stop right there, roll your 2+ with a Gretchen, and remove a Gretchen, and the rest of the sequence stops. So you never roll any saves, you never get to damage. So it's not, none of these things are going to kill multiple Gretchen, which is, I think, maybe how the old rule was worded, because it went to actual damage to the orc units.
It also means, the sequence ends because they're saying, like, you don't do anything else. But if you didn't roll the 2 and you only roll the 1, the sequence continues.
Yeah, then you go right back into saves.
They mean is that there's a save, and then you roll damage.
Yep.
Simple. But, okay, it's simple when it's broken down concisely by Sean that way, but I can see how it can easily be interpreted to mean that, like, you get fucked.
Yeah. I mean, it could be interpreted a bunch of different ways. You could go Tau drone with it. You could go... I mean, just the way Sean said it, not everybody has that.
Oh yeah, if you don't dig into it, it's like, oh, savior protocols, the same thing. I got it. It's not the same thing actually. Savior protocols, it's mortal wounds. Converts of damage to mortal wounds. Say mortal wound.
Yeah. So if there was a way to give Grots feel no pain, I don't know if pain boys work for Grots or anything like that in the Codex. But this is saying that you don't get anything like that because it's not dealing with mortal wounds to Gretchen. You're removing them as a casualty right at that step.
Yeah, that's the biggest, I think, takeaway, because there was actually people trying to give them, KFF, 5 of them, feel no pain or invulnerables, and then stacking a pain boy next to them, right? So, like, yeah, none of that shit. This is a cool enough ability as it is. It is definitely going to keep some people alive. I do like the verbiage saying that it's the sequencing is stopped. So that actually brings up to a point that we actually had to rule on in a tournament at the Beach Live this past weekend, where Ludas are shooting at other Ludas. And the multiple damage came into play. If you look at it, how do you interpret multiple damage? Because the verbiage didn't say sequencing stops. So you have to do one at a time. So I'm glad that it happens. Tighten it up some.
Right. And because everyone thinks, like, fast dice rolling is actually a suggestion. So a lot of us get confused because you're typically taking 30 dice, rolling them all at once. You're like, wait, the sequence is over? No. They didn't take into consideration that. They just used the wording that supports the rules, which is 1 by 1 by 1. Attack sequence ends. Means like you have a weapon that has 3 attacks. Right? Technically, you roll them 1 by 1. Each one is an attack sequence. And if people choose to interpret it as, well, that's it. The GW just come back. Just come back on FAQ again.
Yeah.
But because that's not the way it works. You can just tell. Like, that'd be the most ridiculous thing in the world. You could never get through a Gretchen wall. That means, like, literally 30 Gretchen could absorb, like, fucking 1,000 shots. Like, it's so ridiculous. 30 Gretchen can absorb literally exactly 30 hits.
Odin
From
Odin
different
chat
30 from
is-
30 units. 30 separate units would have to kill 30 Gretchen.
Odin in chat is talking about you would have a save before you're wounded. No, you're wounded and then you take a save. So that's where the sequence is going through. Then damage occurs. So, I mean, GW conflates a couple things sometimes, and some past editions will pop up in your head and interpretation. But once I roll to wound, you are wounded, and then you get a save. So the Grot 2+ comes in between those two steps, between the when you are wounded and when you take a save.
But what happens if you roll a 1?
Then you take a save.
Then the sequence does not end, and you continue the normal sequence, which is roll a save on a Luda or a Mega Knob or somebody. Fails it, then you roll damage.
Then you roll a feel no pain.
Yeah, then maybe you roll a feel no
next
pain.
one.
Yeah, absolutely. But so my big question is, so what's the current word on the street for cheaty ass roll more 2s than guys in squad? I already know the answer to this. We already kind of talked about fast dice rolling as a suggestion, right? But some people, they love to do it with Savior Protocol with drones, 3 drones. I'm like, Obliterators shoot, 11 hits, 10 wounds. And they're like, I only have 3 drones. Cool, I'm just going to roll 10 2-ups. It's like, no, you only have 3 drones, man. They're like, no, like I can do that. Like, I don't think you can, because I think I only rolled all these dice at once because we're saving time because I'm using fast dice.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where it's at now, is to the point where you have to resolve one thing at a time. It was a little, is very ambiguous with the Tau book, and every major event has rolled against it. It's just kind of things that have been theory crafted, and because of, again, loose word verbiage, and we hadn't seen anything like that. Right. And GW has gotten away from wound pools. I remember that was part of the rules in every other edition, where, hey, you create a wound pool, and then from that wound pool you take saves. So if you're telling me this whole wound pool goes to these drones now, then I could see an argument where 2 drones could drown out more. Right.
And if that's the way it was,
that's not a thing anymore.
If that's the way it was, Tau would be the best army.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like if one drone could absorb 100 shots, like, come on.
With Nurgle plague weapons and plague bearers, where on 6s they do 3 damage, or with a banner they do 4 damage sometimes. If you rolled it all out separately, it would take forever. So fast dice comes into play, and then you basically have a social interaction to arrange the wounds as you guys see fit and make pools. That's like a pseudo rule we use with that kind of thing. Like, oh, there's these like 10 dice do 4 damage, these 3 dice do 3 damage, these 2 do 2 damage, and you work it out basically with fast dice. Your opponent gets to the guy taking the damage tends to take those dice and roll them how he sees fit, because in reality, with that unit, you'd roll 1 at a time. So if you're doing 4 damage to a unit of guys that have 3 wounds each, you'd randomly get the 1 and then get a 4, and
you wouldn't be able to game it.
Social interaction situations a lot of times, but it makes the game speed up.
Absolutely makes sense. No, I mean, yeah. And so basically what you're saying is you shoot 24 Gatling cannon shots into the Ludas. They play the stratagem. Right? Then you're like, okay, cool. So I get 23 hits, 20 or 18 wounds, because you're still rolling the wound against the Ludas, right?
Yep.
Because I've already began it, right? So let's say I get like 18 wounds. Now, your opponent picks up 18 dice, and he rolls those. Every time he rolls a 2, that damage is intercepted by a Gretchen. Or that wound is. And he just dies, regardless of anything else. Every time you roll a 1, goes back to the Ludas, they get a save, if they have one. So it doesn't stop you from killing models, it just stops you from killing the models you want. So if someone has 30 Gretchens lined up in front of the Ludas, you have to have enough bullets in your army to kill 30 Gretchens plus the Ludas. So your best bet is to actually try to clear the Gretchen because they're only toughness 3.
Yeah, that's something I was going to go into is like for anybody who has mortars, if for anybody who has strength 3 firepower, stuff like that, like don't even stress about shooting at the looters anymore. If there is a 10-man unit in the open, stuff like that, just bank on smoke checking them, right? Because your weapons are going to wound them. They're only strength and toughness 2, right? With a 7-up save.
Are they 2 or 3? I think they're 3, aren't they? Man, I don't know. 3 points each could be.
I wonder how that works out. There's probably a break even on the strength of your weapons, correct? Because if they're getting no save versus getting a 5-up like custom force field save, it might be better to just pour it all into the Ludas with certain weapons. Certain weapons you will get a benefit of killing the grots, but certain times I think it might be beneficial just to pour them into the Ludas too.
If you wound on 2s, regardless, like if you're just strength 8,
yep,
all day. Or if you have a way to make it wound on 2s, like because
or if you're wounding on like 3s with a reroll, it's probably better to shoot the Ludas.
Yeah, because they're still going to roll 1s.
Because like 1 and 6 will go through, plus you're killing grots with no save.
Yeah, that's a fact. 60 Ludas, Green Onyx.
Yeah, toughness 2.
Toughness 2. Oh, that's even better. Oh, let me tell you what I talked about today gets even better, Sean. Remember when I talked about... I talked in tactics class today, Juice, about my 7 Demon Prince list, which on its surface looks super spammy, right? Because it is. But it's not it's not as spammy as you think it is. Because it's 2 Demon Codex, Demon Prince of Chaos, then 2 Demon Princes of Zenith, then 3 Demon Princes of Nurgle, right? So it's Death Guard, Demons, and Thousand Suns. And then I put on the army list in the test class, like, this is my block of psychic powers. Remember that block, Sean? Quite extensive, right? And I even labeled out the order of operations. And then if then this, do that, right? Like, this is like your matchup. Very offensive. There's a block of sniper mortal wounds, a block of regular mortal wounds, and then there's like something you always, no matter what, you always start the sequence with. And then there's a block of, if you can't make combat, the buffs go to smites, but if you're about to charge, you go to this. So it's like a little flow chart. And the combo I love, that I've always loved, is Pox, Shoreline Pox, poof, -1 toughness. And then you hit them with Curse the Leper. Curse the Leper juice is 7d6. You roll 7d6. And then you roll those dice, and everything you roll over their toughness is a mortal wound. People are like, oh, how are you going to shoot these Gretchen out? I was like, my math says that just kills Gretchen pretty hard. Especially when they're toughness 1.
Yeah, you just killed 21 of them.
Right. And so I was like, so a combination of things like that. And in my list, I do enough sniper mortal wounds and things like that, and a couple of the tricks up his sleeves. I can take out like 10. I can take out 10 or more Ludas most of the time with sniper mortal wounds. And then I will practically clear the 30 Gretchen right in front of him.
Your list has no shooting, so I don't know that you care about that Gretchen shield.
Well, the Gretchen shield doesn't matter. It's just that smites can only shoot the closest, so it's going to be Gretchen until it's not. And then, so the turn 1, you have to kind of say, all right, fine, 30 Gretchen. And then all you lose. So it's just interesting. I was like, toughness 2, that changes a little bit of everything. Never take a 30-man Gretchen squad against me.
No.
That's a waste of points. Especially since I didn't realize all Gretchen. I thought in the beginning, when I read the rule the first time, I thought that like it was literally like 1 for 1. 1 Gretchen unit can shield 1 unit. I didn't realize it was literally the unit was playing the stratagem, and all Gretchen could take to death.
And I believe it's all Gretchen with the same clan culture.
Same clan culture, correct. And so another interesting thing is there doesn't seem to be a way to bypass that. Like it seems like you can lock, so like you can go out Gretchen in close combat. Like let's say I did have a 30 block. They're in close combat and they're stuck in there. Like, and you go to your shooting phase, I'm still intercepting.
Yep.
Yeah, from being locked in combat, that seems solid. But you can only intercept ranged weapon attacks.
Correct. I like that. I think it's a real. I think it's a really. I talked about this day one when that rumor dropped. I was like, "Yo, Wyatt, that's the best shit." this Gretchen goddamn shield strategy was going to be the thing. And
I think it's solid. I think it's going to make play like, we're obviously going to see it on Ludus, a obligatory 15 10-man Luda unit that gets mobbed up turn one that's, got 30 Gretchen in front of it is like, fuck. Just know that you're going to see it every time. But I can't wait until we see it used on Mega Knobs, on other things like, tank bustas that are walking up the field. Do you care about keeping your knob unit alive? I don't know. Like, I know that there's going to be smarter org players than I to create some of the coolest, sickest ways to maximize this. I'm excited to see some diversity in lists once people have ran through this concept of, 100 or 200 bodies. I know, Kenny, you talked about battle wagons. I just played against battle wagons in this past weekend's tournament. And let me tell you, I just played against one of them, and that thing really impressed me. The Death Roller, teleporting, having guys inside. Like,
I've been S in a D of battle wagons day one. Like,
yeah,
Evil Sons battle wagons. They are not suckers game. They're amazing.
It's actually it's so crazy that we have a new standard to say what is better than the new orc buggies. Everything, but a battle wagon is so much.
You're reading my mind. We did a tactics class. Sean came in and I put up a list called Fury Road, and it was like basically like I even threw scrap jets in there for us. It had like a bunch of battle wagons, everything, and I was like, well, this is my theory. And then before we started manipulating it, moving in, and getting more battle wagons in there. But the whole point of the tactics class was, so that Ravengers are better than buggies. It's cheaper. That Razorbacks with assault cannons better than buggies, cheaper.
Yep.
Now let's talk about things within the York Codex, like Battle Wagon and Bonebreaker Battle Wagon and Death Killer Wartrike. All three of those are better than a fucking scrapjet for not that many more points.
Yeah, no, the Death Killer Wartrike is only 130 and like
120. It's 10 more points than the scrapjet.
Oh yeah, 120. Yeah, unbelievable. And what a battle wagon with a Death Roller is 154, something like that. Is that right?
I think it's like 159 with the Death Roller, maybe a Grout Rigger or some shit like that.
Yeah, that is.
In my list, I have 6 regulars, closed top Death Rollers, 3 Bone Breakers. Everyone has the Grot. So it has a 2-up to bring a wound back. And then I've got the big mech on bike following behind. So it's literally like, you're literally like in a pinch. You're like, oh, I'm going to fuck this one battle wagon up. And then I'm just like, heal a wound, heal D3 wounds. It's kind of obnoxious. You get the 5-up. I always pay the point. I have it built in my list where it's like 3 CPs, custom force field, extend it. Or I do the cover strat. So all my battle wagons are 3-up, 5-up. It's built into my list, right? So that's like this block of dudes coming across the table that you're trying to jack. And inside all 6 battle wagons is Gretchen, the super war boss, 3 Death Killer Wartrikes rolling up behind it, giving them all the move advance charge. One of them is going to ramming speed. And then got some Gretchen hanging out behind. Then on turn 2, 30 boys show up. Teleport in. Mm-hmm. Like it's pretty fun. And it's like the old school orcs,
Yeah, it's actually like Speed Freak orcs all over again. But using the battle wagons and 6 battle wagons and Death Rollers were a thing for I think ET or ATC like 4 years ago. I actually knew of a couple teams that had them like they used to put in some work, and I actually think they're better now than they've ever been.
That chat's confused. Like, they're Speed Freaks. They're not Speed Freaks. Speed Freaks was a independent Codex Armageddon, like special way to play orcs. Cults of Speed. No, it's the theme of Speed Freaks, but they're evil sons. So they do have +1 to move, +1 to advance, and +1 to charge. And if a Death Killer Wartrike's near them, they do get to do that and still charge. They're not Speed Freak though. So, but because now we have this new thing. But I'll tell you what, Juice, I take the claw and the 1 war boss on foot in one of the battle wagons, and I take that fucking fall back and still charge relic on one of the Def Killer War Treks.
Yep, that's the one.
People are not ready for that. When 6 battle wagons, like this, if you set up on a gun line, you get charged by 6 battle wagons, son. And then I could fall back and do it again. Because every time you charge, you get the D6 extra attacks and Def Roller.
Yeah.
People aren't ready for falling back and charging again with battle wagons.
That relic might be one of the sickest things that warlord trait might be one of the sickest warlord traits in the game.
Yes.
That is so serious.
I saw you do it in that one battle report, and I was like, that's my number one girl.
Yeah. My God.
But not to derail it too far, there's at least one more FAQ item, right, on the org docket?
I would think so. So probably the stratagem one, or I mean, we could just talk about the looted. They set it so you can't have better than what, a 2-up, I believe. So you can't get the 1-up. Oh, here it is. Use the stratagem when a vehicle is destroyed. Select the orc infantry from your army that was either within 3 or embarked. Improve the save characteristic of that infantry unit by 1 to a maximum of 2+. So can't do the one plus that everybody was trying to do or whatever.
Yeah, there were some people that were trying to abuse Mega Knobs to give them a 1++ that they said would always allow them to get a 2+.
Well, it's interesting that GW didn't fix the word the right way. They just went with their bad wording because the game is a dice rolling modifier game. Mm-hmm. So everything else says add 1 to the roll or whatever. Everything else is like add 1 to the roll to your saving throw. This one said add 1 to your save characteristic. So rather than GW saying change it to add 1 to your save your roll, it just said to a maximum of 2. Like they just stuck there with their guns.
Yeah.
Cool.
But then one that go ahead.
I actually think this is going to be extremely powerful because I like the verbiage in there saying that even if you're embarked, it works on a truck or vehicle if you're embarked in it, which people didn't know if it did before. So this is powerful for that Luda unit that we're talking about. If you want to protect them, once they blow up, now you can get +2 to their save because they're Ludas.
No, they can just get it for free on a 4-up.
Oh, it's not a stratagem?
It is a stratagem.
It is a stratagem.
Yeah. Ludus have this caveat where like they refund the CP for.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Yeah, on the roll of a 4, but it's still a stratagem. But on the roll of a 4-up, it comes back to them. Mm-hmm. It doesn't cost them the CP. Yeah, gotcha.
No, it's pretty cool. I like looted.
I think it's good that they specified the embarked because sliding into our
come
next
on, man.
point,
Truck boys should definitely be able to take advantage of that. They suck enough.
Yes. The whole thing we were kind of talking about where shooting out of vehicles, were you actually shooting out? Did it actually trigger a shooting phase, or was it the air quotes open top rule of the battle wagon or the trucks like Kenny was talking about? And they kind of specified it a little bit in a little Q&A at the end. They said, do stratagems used on transports affect models embarked within the transport? For example, if I use more DACA on a battle wagon, do any of the units embarked inside benefit from it? In addition, can you use stratagems on units embarked within a transport, i.e. showing off for bad moons, embarked on a battle wagon? And the answer was no to both. So why is this important?
Well, it establishes across all codexes now that guys inside do not benefit from stratagems and cannot have stratagems played upon them.
Yeah, not being able to have your tank busters come from the teleporter in a truck, shooting twice, it's pretty big. That is huge. I mean, we talk about the Ludas. Let me tell you what's not going to happen. Ludas are not going to be inside transports from the beginning of their turn because you are going to want them to mob up. You are going to want them to shoot twice. You are going to want to explode 5s and 6s, not just 5s, or not just 6s. So yeah, this is good. I mean, good for clarity, not so much for the orcs, but
yeah, because you're going to do that clown car trick, right? You're going to fly up. You're going to throw the grenades out. So yeah, it's a precedent because
it absolutely is. There's so many combos that if you are allowed to do things inside of a vehicle, orcs could be very abusive. So I mean, I'm glad we don't have to face it.
Yep, I think those were like the big ones there. Of course, a little bit of confusion, but overall, I think it was a good FAQ, and yeah, I can't complain. Good precedents across.
Yeah, I mean,
the
I'm
board.
sad because it took some of my OP-ness away. You know,
Say that again.
OP-ness.
Okay, just checking.
I'm sad that it took a little bit of our OP-ness away, but I'm not really that sad. You know, it's like, okay, fine, make this one in line with all the other ones. Take away our 2 up and vulnerable, fake 2 up and vulnerable. That Gretchen stratagem's good. So I can't walk away anywhere. There's no negatives there.
Yeah, there's no nerf to that. It was just clarification.
Clarification.
Agreed. Yeah.
Because only hobos were interpreting it the hobo way, so didn't matter. No, it's solid. It's good clarification. Good job, GW. Keep doing it like that.
And it came pretty timely. It was 2-3 weeks after the codex dropped. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good. Hopefully we can expect in 2 or 3 weeks the chapter approved. Is there an official leak date, or have they announced, or do we know anything, Robbie B?
I think some people online are saying the 15th, but to be honest, I haven't even looked. Yeah, right.
It's a good day.
I haven't looked to see. You want to tell them why?
It might be someone's birthday. and just a few days before that great day, there might be someone else's birthday.
One of us doesn't age, apparently.
There might be a wedding only a few minutes before that.
Yeah. There's a lot going on.
I would actually, if they stuck to those guns, I would not have to have an emergency conference call while I was in Aruba to talk about chapter approved.
Well, yeah. There's a couple people said this in chat. I don't mean to cut you off there, but people are like, Gretchen don't get clan cultures. Like, they do, but they don't. Gretchen have clan parentheses. You have to be able to but they don't benefit from the culture. So
Correct.
you still
get assigned a clan.
You're assigned a clan because you can't actually build an army list and have all the rules if they don't. So they have the keyword, but they don't get the culture. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So people are like, can they ride in battle wagons? Can they? I mean, they technically don't have cultures. Like, they don't benefit from they don't get the speed freak culture, but they are in the speed freak. They don't get the evil sons culture, but they do. They're in their clan. They have the keyword. Yeah. So riding in a transport requires you just have that keyword in common. Mm. They have it.
Yeah, so bad moon keyword, cannot step in front of.
They don't get the reroll ones when they shoot their grout blasters or anything like that, but they definitely are in the Bad Moon's clan. Like, they have that keyword. It's all based on keywords.
Yeah, they gotta have the right color jersey on to jump in front of the other.
Yeah, that's a great way of looking at it. They're wearing the jersey, but they ain't playing. They're not.
Yeah.
Got some bad.
Nah, he not our man. He not our boss.
Let me just say, he didn't make Juice's fantasy football team.
Mm. I think of them as the little guy from Space Jams. If y'all remember that unicorn of movies.
You're obsessed with that movie.
It's might be one of my all-time top 20 favorite movies.
You'll be excited to know that they're making a sequel.
Dude. I didn't really. Is it coming out in 2019?
I think so, but obviously it's not with Michael Jordan. But I don't know who.
Wait a second. Speaking of unicorn movies coming out in 2019, have we done it yet? Have we told the public what is happening?
Movies coming out in 2019.
Bad Boys 3.
Bad Boys 3.
Yeah, I'm in it as an extra.
Like, it is happening. Real talk. And if I'm not mistaken, Disney has taken over the scene from like 1994 and producing Lion King, Aladdin, The Little Mermaid. There's like 7 of my kid movies that I grew up with that are getting done that year. Is this right?
Oh, you're killing me, Juice.
All I'm saying is
the live action ones are coming.
All I'm saying is touch nothing
Mulan.
but the lamp.
Don't touch the lamp.
Touch nothing but the lamp.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Like Juice is like, those are my kids growing, like the movies I had watched as a kid when I was growing up. I'm like, I was already a man grown when I saw it.
You were born to the Disney.
So when Mufasa died, you didn't give a fuck, huh?
No, dude, Lion King was the first movie I ever saw in theaters. And I literally cried when Mufasa died.
Yeah. You're not a human if you didn't. You kidding me? That shit was terrible, man. I fucking had nightmares. Oh, but we should mention this. You guys seen the trailer to the Pikachu fucking Pokemon movie?
Yeah. Yes. I hate to say this.
I looked at it, I was like, this is so dumb. Within 10 seconds, I'm like, I'm sold. I'm watching this.
Yeah, I hate to say this because I really don't know anything about Pokemon. And I just watched the trailer and went, I'm in. I'm going to go see this movie.
I'm in. Let me get those Pokemans. Let's do this thing.
Yeah. But
before we get out of here, let's do a quick promotion. Haspel's going to be on an internet game show tonight, or not tonight. We're going to do a rendition tonight, but there's a new website or a new YouTube channel doing a game show. Everything. I'll let Juice. I mean, the hell's wrong with my words? Juice. Other Juice, aka Haspel. Break it down for us.
Yeah, so it's called The Truth Is. It's based on an old parlor game where you get 3 statements that a person says, and one of them is true. And the person has to essentially talk about all 3 as if they were true. And the other guests have to guess which one was not true or which one is true. And there's 2 of them that are lies. So it's a heck of a lot of fun. And they're on their, I was on their 4th show, but it doesn't count the pilot. So they have 5 shows that will be out. It's on a YouTube channel called The Truth Is, and it was a heck of a blast. And I hope they invite me again because it was really solid. So it was a lot of fun.
So can we do like a test run of how the format works?
Yeah. So one of these statements that I'm going to say is true, and 2 of them are lies, and you guys can interact with me and ask me questions about any one of them. So the first one is, I once dropped a practice bomb through a squadron commander's car. The second one is, a Star Wars fan film that I made it all the way to the art director of Lucasfilm, and he gave me kudos for it. And the third one is, I almost got in a fight with Russian gangsters in a bar in Moscow.
So now we have to figure out only one of those is true, is what you're saying.
Only one of those is true.
Those are all outrageous, by the way. I see you're implementing Juice's outrageous strategy.
Yeah. So then you could ask questions to try to figure out, to try to clarify the story and which one's true, which one's not. And it's my job to make sure, or to present that all of them are true, but only one of them is,
all right,
is not, obviously.
When you almost got in a fight with these Russian gangsters in Moscow, were you currently active duty?
I was not, but I was over there.
Are you allowed to lie to me when I ask these questions?
Well, if it's a lie, then yes. Yeah, if you're asking me about a lie, then I have to lie to answer the question. But I was not active duty.
You were not active duty. Okay. That's my question. Someone want to pump them for intel on these?
What base were you at when you dropped the dummy bomb?
Cannon Air Force Base, New Mexico. It was an F-111.
An aardvark?
Yep.
Oh my God. So he said that one real fast, which could be
funny looking.
Could be Juice's strategy of making it seem like he knows. Oh, that's definitely. I see. Like that's crazy. And what was the second one again?
A Star Wars fan film that I made it all the way up to Lucasfilm and got kudos from the art director.
Didn't happen. No way.
Yeah. No, I don't know. He has a Han Solo. What was the format what was the genre of the film? The formatting?
It was actually a clip. It was a short clip called Band of Troopers, where I took some footage of some 501st guys running through a forest, but instead of moving like we see stormtroopers moving, I made them move in bounding Overwatch, where they were covering one another, and then I desaturated the footage and put in some artifacts so it would look like Band of Brothers, like a World War II.
He nailed the shit out of that one. If he was ready for that.
I'm gonna backpedal.
What was the third one?
Third one was he almost got a fight with Russian mobsters in Moscow.
What year was that?
That was 99, I think. 99. It was 98 or 99.
I'm gonna backpedal. I'm gonna say the Star Wars one's real. Because I'm like thinking about it now. I'm like, no, some facts aren't adding up. I'm gonna go with the Star Wars one. That's my final answer. You guys, you can pop them for more information.
Some guys in the chat are asking, was it a practice bomb, dud, or small bang? It was a practice bomb, one of the little blue ones, like a range bomb.
I'm going with dropping bombs.
I'll go. He got in a fight with Spice Girls in Moscow.
Sean, which one are you going in with?
I also pick Russian mobsters in 99.
Spice Girl mobsters.
Spice Girl, Russian mobsters.
All right. So the truth is, my Star Wars fan film called Band of Troopers made it all the way up to Lucasfilm, and I got kudos from the art director, Doug Chang. That's the truth.
There it is.
I have a lot of insider information because I know a lot about his Russian stories, and it didn't add up when he told me he wasn't active duty. I was like, you weren't fucking just hanging out in Moscow on your own time. Get the fuck out of here. Just like, get out of here.
I didn't catch that.
But yeah, it's basically that, and it's a lot of fun. And somebody's saying it's like a BBC show called "Would I Lie to You?" That it could be very true. But that parlor game has been around for years, and it's there's a variant of it called Baron Munchausen, which I actually really adore, but that's a little bit harder to pull off because Baron Munchausen is like you try to pimp over the other guests. So I would say something like, and it becomes like you have to tell the most outlandish story ever. So I would say something like, Rob, you know what my favorite story is that you tell? Tell me the story about one time when you seduced the King of the Moon with a pair of socks.
So this is like that episode of Rick and Morty with the parasites.
Yeah.
Remember that one time we saved the world from that Nazi Russian submarine?
Yeah. And then you have to make that story up. So, but it's a really good show. It was a lot of fun. Check out their YouTube channel. They're just starting up. It's called The Truth Is. And also I have another shout out from, and unfortunately I was not able to read your last name off the envelope. It had been damaged, but Sam from Ireland. I got the t-shirt. So it's like a 3-wolf moon, but the moon has the American flag on it. It's an epic t-shirt.
Holy shit.
That's the shirt.
I wonder it didn't come with full trumpets playing.
No.
How much did you have to pay to get that at customs? I mean, it's
a relic.
It was crazy. So thank you very much for that. That was great.
Well, Rob, what do you think?
I think I would ask Haspel to take us out of here, but he might lie to us.
It might not be the actual truth.
It might not be the actual, ending to the show. It might be like a fake ending. So I don't know. All right, Haspel, take us out.
I'm a reasonable guy, but I've just experienced some very unreasonable things.